Jay Sandos back with another Game Time Tour edition. This time we're talking to women's golf coach Stefanie Shelton, and she's so helpful to join us on today's Alumni Hall Game Time Tour from a fishing pond. So at least you get to enjoy the outdoors. Stefanie, let's talk a little bit about women's golf. You guys were in the middle of the season, getting ready to prepare for a conference tournament, and then all of a sudden sort of everything stopped for you.
We were. We had just returned from UNC Wilmington, where we had our best tournament of the season. We were heading to Augusta University in Augusta, Georgia. We had packed our van, and I was headed to pick up the team on that day. That we had the phone call that said, "Turn around and come back. No tournament." So, it was really difficult. We had, like I said, we had just come off of our best tournament of the season, where we had an individual winner, and the team had their best top three finish, and we had a lot of individual best performances and best rounds. So it was really difficult for us to hear that, to have that phone call hit us, as we were heading out to Augusta, which was going to be probably one of the biggest fields we'd ever faced in my 18 years of coaching. With I think they had about 8 top 20 programs there. So we were really looking forward to that. But with all sports being canceled, we understand the necessity of it, and we were devastated. However, it's understandable, and we'll just try to carry all that we built and where we were in our season into next year.
And you had to spend a lot of time for a couple weeks thinking, well, maybe we'll be able to come back, and eventually it was all kind of canceled, and you changed your focus really from sports to, I'm sure, the welfare of your athletes, and not just trying to make sure they're getting where they need to go, but then also they've still got to try to finish out the semester.
Exactly. When we had that phone call, I believe the next morning is when all the head coaches met, and we had the directive from the university and the NCAA to cancel our tournaments. And so we knew at that point, that we needed to get our girls home. It was the best call to take care of our student athletes and for their safety and their well-being. So within 48 hours, we had a few of our girls go from leaving to go to Augusta for a tournament to packing their apartments and getting on a plane and flying home to be with their families during this time. So it was a quick change. I think that was the most difficult thing, was people didn't have time to prepare for where they were going to be over the next, unlimited amount of time right now. But like I said, the girls are doing well. They're all in safe places now with their home and families, and they're continuing their studies via Zoom, which has been incredible, that the kids can continue studying and continuing their year and not losing any time on the semester. I think that's tremendous. Golf will pick up. I think academics, we always preach, is number one, and it really is. I'm very thankful that the kids will continue their studies. Golf, we'll pick that up in the fall. I think we'll be hungrier than ever. I'm sure after this long lapse in time, everybody's going to be ready to get out there and compete together again, and I look forward to that just as much as the student athletes do.
And so there's still some up in the air if they're going to let all the spring athletes either get a year of eligibility left. I know they're still kind of talking about some of that, but also like recruiting, things like that, where you'd normally be, wrapping up your year, getting into that, figuring it out. Now there's still some unknown with what's that going to look like if players are granted a different year, if that's going to take away, add to, all this so unknown that you just got to stay on your toes, I guess, for the next little bit.
This is very true. This was summertime is a big time for international recruiting, where you fly overseas and recruit. And obviously I don't think that's going to happen at all this summer. So it will be a lot of, I'm very hopeful that the NCAA does grant our spring athletes that year to where they can stay at the university and play. We have Teresa Maleka, who is made it to 50 in the world this year in the world ranking. I would love to have her back another year, obviously, and I'm really hopeful that will happen. So that helps the recruiting a little bit in this, where you're not able to go out this summer. But hopefully a lot of contacts around the world, and we'll see what can happen with recruiting. But I think we're all in the same boat, so it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Well, speaking of boat, I'll let you get back to fishing with the family. I know you get some extra time. You and your husband both get a little extra time with the family. I hope you guys get to enjoy it, and you get a chance to stay safe as well.
Thank you, Jay.
All right, that's Stefanie Shelton. She's the women's golf coach at ETSU. It's been our Game Time Tour Check-in with Women's Golf, brought to you by Alumni Hall.